Welcome, everyone, to the Existential Podcast. I'm your host, Jonas. I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Hunter and Jeremiah, and today we're going to talk about the heat death of the universe. How you guys doing today?
Doing good. Doing great. Same as last time.
Yep, doing the same as always.
Same as last
Same as last week, which is 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's exactly how that works. So, the heat death of the universe is going to be a lot of me talking and explaining stuff, just because there's so much on it. So we're going to start this off with a scenario. You're driving your car on the highway and you notice the fuel level is on E. While looking for a gas station, the car starts to sputter and then dies, leaving you stranded on the side of the road. You confused look at the gauge that states you still have 5 miles of range left. Why did the car run out of fuel before the gauge said you were going to? That's the actual question.
Why did your car run out of fuel before the gauge said you were going?
Yeah.
Because the gauge isn't an absolute. It's not an absolute indicator.
Or the pickup's in a different location than the actual.
Yeah, than the level.
Yeah. Or you could be angled at a different thing. Because when I'm on my semi truck and I'm angled on a hill, or not a semi, but straight truck, and I'm angled on a hill, the fucking the fuel just drops. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I start going, and it goes back up.
If the gauge was 100% accurate, why do you think it would do that?
What, that the car would turn off?
Yeah, if the gauge was accurate.
Then something going on between the engine and the fuel tank. I don't know. It doesn't.
Fuel is atomized.
I don't know.
Bam! It's got to do with thermodynamics. We're back into this. Gasoline Gasoline is only about 20 to 30% efficient. The rest of it turns into heat energy, which is wasted energy because we don't need it.
Yeah.
Thermodynamics states that all things have entropy, and that entropy only increases as time goes on. Entropy is how disordered something is, or how random its molecules are. Ice has less entropy than steam does, even though they're both H2O. To go from ice to steam costs a lot of energy, specifically a lot of heat energy, but you have to create that heat energy. A campfire uses wood as its fuel source to create heat energy that you can use to turn ice into steam. But what happens when the wood runs out? Well, the steam will eventually disappear, but not actually disappear. Its molecules are just dispersed in a larger area than when it was ice, meaning its entropy is significantly higher now that it's steam. The assumption is that the universe follows the same path as ice turning into steam. Eventually, the wood will run out, and there will be no more reactions available, causing the universe to essentially die. What do you think will happen when the universe runs out of energy?
I
know it's a lot of me fucking explaining shit.
I just got sent a crazy meme.
When everything runs out.
This guy's fucking memeing over here, dude.
You said when everything runs out of energy. That was the question?
Yeah, when the universe runs out of all reactions have been expended. What happens when the universe runs out of energy?
Didn't they say it's just gonna be dark, black, just fucking, and either we're all gonna get sucked into the giant supermassive black hole that we're in, which most likely will probably create another Big Bang, or we're just all gonna all the energy, all the heat in the universe is gonna just dissipate and just be dark. I don't know, just be a dark. I don't know, a dark nothing, or just a dark abyss, dark universe.
I mean, it's interesting because energy first.
Yeah. Transition or transformed.
Right.
Yeah.
So it has to go some.
Yeah.
So if everything turns into a black hole, I know black holes have Hawking radiation, so they slowly radiate away.
Yeah,
but
right.
It's such a crazy amount of time before it goes that we don't have.
Yeah. The assumption is that all the energy is still there, but the way it works, like H2O the molecules in H2O, instead of the two hydrogens being with the oxygen, the hydrogens will be somewhere else, and it won't create water. It's just everything's so spread out and chaotic and like
that nothing ever bonds around.
unstable. Yeah.
Huh. So it's not like it's just gone. It's expanded so far that it's all dissipated.
Yeah. It's not
Okay.
able to create anything.
It's like steam when you fucking see it go in there and kind of like disappears.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. The water's still there. It's
But
just
it's
we're no
just
longer able to see
separate.
it. So yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, the way I was thinking about it is, yeah, we would probably, I don't know, get sucked into a black hole or something, or everything would freeze, which would be the third law of thermodynamics, which is absolute zero. I think everything would just become or turn into, I don't know, become absolute zero, which is 0 degrees Kelvin, I think, which is technically impossible. Because it means all things freeze in place, including atoms. Like they don't even electrons and shit. They don't move around. They stay in one spot.
Right.
Did we ever give the definition of thermodynamics
Uh,
or like the principle of what it is? I don't know if we ever
we did the first or the second law, which that everything has entropy, and entropy increases as time goes on.
And what is it?
It's how disordered something is, or how random its molecules are in a thing. We briefly went over that while I was talking. Do you think there's a way to slow down the entropy of the universe?
Now that we
Not
I-
not like on a
Mm.
global
Yeah,
or
on a-
universal,
yeah,
Yeah, galactic
level.
scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, we could do stuff to slow our own like Earth entropy down, but not the actual whole universe. And the thing is, I still don't even know what the heck we would do to slow our own entropy
You
down.
get Superman and you have him fly reverse.
Fly
on the
reverse,
planet
slow
so it
down.
could stop the Earth from rotating.
can we just pick one side?
Yeah, just burn everybody on that side and then
Or we
freeze
just
on the
flip
other.
the rotation, so we'll go back and
I don't think that's how
Didn't
that
they do
works.
that in like a
Superman. Yep, the movie. I think it's the
Mhm.
movie he did that or some shit. One of the cartoons.
Crazy. So to explain more about the things that can happen, the heat death of the universe has, I think, two main different like ending scenarios. One is called the Big Freeze, meaning that the universe will eventually freeze when all reactions have been expended. So the absolute zero thing.
Mm.
And I hilariously asked, "What do you think happens if everything were to freeze?" Well, I just fucking said it. Everything.
nothing.
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. Pretty much nothing happens. Absolute zero, and then bam, frozen in time. I even think time freezes in that scenario. It's
I mean,
crazy.
You would think because nothing moves. You know.
Why would time freeze though in that scenario? Like,
Well,
is time? I thought time wasn't even connected to like.
But it's connected to a dimension. It's
But
there's
like, it's
so
not
much
like an
stuff involved
But it's
into
not
it.
like an atom though. It's not like it's just.
Absolute zero like follows the weirdest like principles in physics. It's insane.
But why would that affect a complete like? I don't know what like. Is time a dimension?
so sorry.
You're tweaking, dude.
I gave my girlfriend an injection. I'm just checking on her right now as we're recording this. And Jeremiah is taking this time to send me memes. Oh my god.
But like, how is time affected by absolute zero? Like, I guess I get how time is affected by gravity,
Right.
like with the black hole, but how is that affected by like temperature? I guess
So, how do I word this to make
because time
sense?
still exists whether that's there or not, like whether it's the absolute zero or Kelvin zero or whatever, or if it's
Yeah, 0 Kelvin.
There's
Yeah.
Yeah.
absolute 0 Kelvin.
No, it's
No
just
more Asians.
0 Kelvin called absolute zero.
Because
That's
if
the name
there's
of it.
like if a universe has zero kelvins, right? And I guess time stops. But then if a fucking, let's say, a meteor from a different universe makes its way all the way over here, then just time resumes again. Like,
No, because the way 0 Kelvin works is everything freezes in place. Like,
okay.
how do I
But that doesn't
explain this
necessarily.
more?
But
If
what?
there were multiple universes, it would literally spread. The absolute zero would spread to the other universes. It would freeze everything.
Okay.
Nothing would ever be able to come back to moving.
But that's
So
not necessarily
it's like a
time
cancer.
though.
How do I word this to add
Well-
or connect to time? Time can only exist when things are moving.
Yeah. And isn't it linked to
I
gravity too?
guess.
Yeah.
Because like if you have nothing, like there's nothing creating heat, there's nothing generating heat at all. Even if it's cold heat, fucking anything like that, then it's nothing. There's nothing weighing down the
Fabric of
fabric
time.
of
Yeah.
time, gravity.
Yeah,
And
black
it's
holes
just
wouldn't
nothing.
even work in absolute zero.
There's no like
But
water
is
that's
there still
absolutely
mass?
still.
Is there still matter?
No.
There's
Like-
no mass. So
like there-
everything's
there-
disappeared. Everything's gone.
Everything's just stuck in place.
Because it's so dispersed. So
Like
cold
if
that
you
they
were
don't-
to if you were to take this water bottle and put it on a scale right now, it would weigh how many ever ounces.
Yeah.
In absolute zero, it wouldn't weigh anything. Because it would be stuck.
it'd be the atoms.
It would have no.
the atoms below it would be stuck. So
But
it couldn't.
I
the scale
get, I
couldn't register.
get that, but my question is, how does that? I guess maybe for the object itself or the atoms itself or whatever, time stop. But what about anything else outside of that?
There is when the absolute zero is hit, there is no longer anything outside of absolute zero.
Yeah, but I'm saying like absolute zero for a universe, right? But there theoretically be infinite number of universes.
Yeah, it would spread to them.
Eventually, though, right?
It would immediately do it. It would
What?
be yeah. Absolute zero is crazy.
I don't know. Is it? Would that? It was just everything. Thanos snap. Like how instantly
Yeah.
would that be?
Fucking blink of an eye. But the thing is about absolute zero is
Is that true, Hunter?
it's theoretically impossible to hit absolute zero because of how it works.
What was that? Okay, I'm sorry. No absolute zero. No absolute zero Kelvin or negative 273.15 Celsius has never been reached. And according to the third law of thermodynamics, it's theoretically impossible to reach. Those scientists have gotten extremely close.
Yeah, like 0.001.
Oh.
Like it's absurdly close.
So absolute zero represents the theoretically lowest temperature possible, where molecules would have minimum or no movement. The third law of thermodynamics. This law states that it is impossible to reach absolute zero through any finite process. Extremely close approximations, while absolute zero is unattainable. Scientists have achieved temperatures incredibly close to it using techniques like laser cooling and dilution refrigerators.
Yeah, and they can only do like a really small thing. It's a super compact thing.
Probably only for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Mixture of helium isotopes to reach extremely low temperature. That's great.
Yeah, they've gone to I think it's like 0.001 Kelvin.
But
It's crazy how close they get.
But so like that's not necessarily like I'm not doubting absolute zero. I'm more questioning on like if absolute zero hits, everything just freezes.
Yeah.
I mean, how I think about it is like, you ever seen the animations of how heat works,
Yeah.
where the molecules move faster,
Yeah.
and the colder something is, the slower they move.
Yeah.
Well, Kelvin is so cold that the molecules can't move because it's so cold.
Okay.
That's how I think. That's how I'm processing.
And then but I'm questioning more of like the speed once something hits Kelvin zero.
Mhm.
At what rate does that spread throughout the universe? How quick that is? Because Jonas is saying as soon as it hits, everything in the universe, probably everything in every single universe just hits.
Yeah, because it'd be a chain reaction thing, and
Mhm.
it would fucking blink of an eye.
You ever seen the water bottles where you put it in the freezer for a long time and then you pull it out? It's still water when you look at it, but then you flick it and it just goes to ice.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of how
Yeah,
we're trying to.
it's
Okay.
the how do I word this a different way? If you take something that's cold and touch something that's room temperature, eventually the two will level out,
Mhm.
right? The cold thing will heat up or cool down the hot thing, and the hot thing will
Warm
Well-
up the cold thing.
right, and they'll eventually level out.
Yeah.
Well, absolute zero, there's no way to heat it up.
Mhm.
Once it's there, it's there. So instead, it will just freeze everything else. It will bring everything to its temperature.
Okay.
Which is why it will
Does
happen
that
instantly.
does that make sense though? Why wouldn't an external like heat at least heat it up a little bit, you know, and then like gradually when
It's because
this
of
thing
how
is,
extreme it is.
yeah.
Because it has the reason wouldn't be a little bit is because of how basically how extreme it is, and also the impossibility of it.
Mhm.
But if for some reason the water bottle was at absolute zero and we put a fire next to it, just the air from the water bottle would put out the fire. The fire does not have enough energy to beat absolute zero.
So everything in the universe, all the super massive black holes, all the supermassive suns, wouldn't even dent the fucking like it wouldn't even
No.
heat it up a little bit, like a tiny bit.
No, because of how extreme it is. But that's also why it's like impossible to hit absolute zero. I think even the universe itself, the vacuum of space, is like 3 Kelvin or something like that, 3 or 4 Kelvin, which is extremely fucking cold, but it's not absolute zero. The other ending in the heat death of the universe is called the Big Crunch, meaning when entropy is at its peak, the universe will collapse on itself, or in on itself. What do you think will happen if the universe collapses on itself?
The fuck does
I
that
mean,
mean? Like we all go into a black hole, or like
Yeah, if that's what you think.
like you
I
know
don't know what
how
that means.
space is like ever expanding.
Yeah,
Like
it just starts
they just
crushing.
crunch.
Yeah, literally just
Like, what
come.
do you think would happen if it just crunched?
It's like a balloon, like if you pop
I
a
think
balloon.
most likely we get another Big Bang. Like we would come back in and then get down to a
Singularity.
fucking singularity ball of a pin, and then it explodes again, and then just keep doing that. I guess
That's what I would think.
logically that seems like it makes sense. I don't know
Yeah.
about scientific.
I mean, this whole thing is like just a theory, like a guess on the whole thing. There are theories that the Big Crunch is actually how the Big Bang started, and that the Big Bang will actually repeat an infinite amount of times.
Like a heartbeat.
Yeah. What do you think happens if the Big Bang was to infinitely occur?
And then it'd just be infinite universe.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I guess you think about it like that. Yeah.
would it be an infinite universe or I guess like one infinite universe?
Yeah. I don't know if it's like creates copy and paste them. I think it might, because you would think there's no way the atoms realign perfectly every time
Yeah.
to create the same exact. Yeah. But
I mean, it makes sense. Like I don't know. Like, what do you think, Jones? Is your realm of expertise?
I think if the universe was to infinitely collapse on itself,
You said the uterus?
universe?
Oh,
Universe?
what?
No, the universe was to infinitely collapse on itself and create a Big Bang an infinite amount of times. I feel like it would be like, how do I? I'm gonna bring simulation theory into this, but it's like basically somebody trying like starting a new save in a game. They just keep restarting.
Oh yeah. But when it keeps restarting, do you think everyone will be like reborn again, or do you think it'll just be like new people or like a
new stuff? I think it would just create new stuff. Whether or not we would be here, or humans in general would come back, I don't know. I think it would just basically new game save, new what is it? Pick your own adventure, but for whoever's controlling the universe, if that's how it's working.
pick your own universe.
Yeah. There are also talks that the big crunch thing that the universe is on like a cycle that repeats an infinite amount of times, and everything is the same always. As in, like we hit play on a video, it gets to the end, you hit repeat, and the video keeps playing. So us talking here right now, will happen again, the exact same way
In the next universe, or in one of the universes eventually.
in all of them are the exact same, one for one.
That'd be sad.
That's not like a simulation, to be honest.
That's what it sounds.
Bingo, dude.
He's like, that's exactly. You played my trump
I'm
card.
about
I'm about to bust.
That's how bust. You called it.
Yep. If this were true, do you think it would cause people to think less about the meaning of life if they knew that no matter what happens, it's just going to happen again?
Listen, I've been on this bandwagon since day one. Everyone else, I think, should just come along. Be Christian, man. I'm talking to you, Jonas.
Nope.
Like, bro, if that's real, and there's like a God that's like, nah, we're gonna just play the simulation until you humans get right to get to heaven.
No. This is like everything's the exact same every single time. There's no way to change it. There's actually no free will.
If there's no way to change it,
everything is pre-planned.
Then why not just accept it and just like fuck it, live it?
So like the people that killed themselves were already.
Yeah, it was already going to happen
infinite
anyway.
Fucking like torture.
Damn.
Yep.
That's sad.
It is what it is.
Do you think
Hades?
like once you die, the universe resets for you, or do you like is it just like a queue?
It's a queue. You just wait. You wait your turn.
That's gross.
Why would it not just be infinite? Like, or not infinite, but instant though. Like as soon as you die, you fucking out your mother's womb.
Because the video's not done.
But how fast is the video playing for you when you're dead?
Yeah. Well, I don't fucking know. I'm not dead.
Because when we sleep,
figure it out.
When we sleep, we're going through our dreams at such a slow rate as what fucking life is moving.
Possibly, but some people like you go to sleep and then you instantly wake up.
Exactly,
and but it's been like 8 hours. Maybe it's like that. Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like you're dreaming. Like let's say you went and fucking to the grocery store and back, and like 6 hours has passed. You're like, damn, it's only been like an hour for me, or like 45 minutes.
Maybe it's like that. I don't fucking know.
Like at what point does time just like is irrelevant to you because you're not experiencing it? Why wouldn't it just be instant?
Guess that is true.
Kind of like a star, not a star, or I guess light. Yeah, light. For instance, like from the sun, the light that emits from the sun that reaches
it takes
Earth,
8 minutes to reach us.
But in that 8 minutes, that light has birthed itself and met us all in the same instant.
Yeah, and it repeats every like millisecond or whatever. It just takes 8 minutes to reach us.
So it's like it could be like that. Like as soon as you die, you're experiencing the next.
Yeah, for you it would be the next thing, but for
us,
reality,
we're fucking going through this shit all over.
Yeah. For you, it'd be instant, but in reality, it's like several billions of years, or however long the universe decides it wants to live for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because before we were born, it was just fucking all this other history that happened within the universe.
Yeah, we don't even know about, or maybe we do. Our memory just gets wiped. Crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
Or we have echoes deja vu.
Yeah, it's you going back in time.
Are you experiencing someone else, like relative fucking memories? Because like how connected are we to our like ancestors? Like our grandparents or mothers or great grandparents, like our lineage, our DNA. How connect? Like, do we pick up their same fears and shit like that, or do we have some type of like secondary nature?
I mean, I'm sure there's something. There's got to be something.
Yeah. No, I don't know. There was a lot of stuff I was seeing on it and like what people were saying, but yeah, the idea that it's basically a repeated cycle. Like we hit a video, plays through the video, you hit replay, and it just keeps going over and over and over an infinite amount of times is pretty wild. Because it basically means that there is no meaning to life because it's already pre-planned.
Well, I feel like what would most in that scenario, I think what would be most likely is that it just repeats and maybe, but there's like either different variation. It would have to be different variation. because I don't know. I guess it depends if you believe in free will or not. And in
Yeah.
my instance, I believe in free will, so I think most likely if that were to reoccur, it would be a different variation where maybe you wouldn't be, I don't know, maybe you wouldn't be fucking white or whatever. Like you might be Native
Yeah.
American, or you might be born in Australia or something like that, you know, based off of past, like the butterfly effect, like based off past choices of your ancestors, you'll be placed in a different spot.
Mhm.
You may be born earlier, maybe born later, depending on how, I don't know. Maybe you not be born at all. Maybe it's just
Yeah.
someone else, like a different
Maybe you just
variation.
give a replay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Jumps to the next video.
Yeah, jumps to the next chapter.
I didn't put this one in the queue. Fuck.
Yeah. Man, you hit shuffle this time, man. Fuck. What is the likelihood of any of this thing? Any of what we talked about?
More than 0.
Yeah, true. Because it's technically a theory, so it's more than 0.
I think it's more likely than the Thursday effect. Last Thursday.
The last Thursday.
I still haven't looked at this shit. You guys seem to hate it. I want to
Dude,
talk
Because,
about
bro,
it.
it's a meme and niggas act like it's like the truth. It's like, bro,
It's
it's
like-
retarded.
Kanye when he talks about the bank.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
Great.
we could go on a rant about Thursdayism last
We'll
Thursdayism.
save that one. Let's save it. I mean, I think like if we're talking about it in the aspect of like gets to the point where it comes in and it crunches back to singularity and
Yeah, any
goes
of them.
back again.
Just that the universe will eventually run out of energy.
Yeah, the odds of it being a simulation, if everything lines up perfectly and there's no free will and it is just planned out to work this way, then I would say the odds of it being a simulation go up.
Oh yeah.
Exponentially. But I think if it is like a thing where everything just expands and then it comes back to that crash singularity and then bang,
Yeah.
then the odds of every atom that is dispersed out of the singularity lines back up perfectly to create the Dr. Pepper shirt Jonas is wearing right now.
yeah.
Highly unlikely. It might be Dr. fucking Peepee next, dude.
Oh yeah, dude, Mr. Pibb.
Mr. Pibb.
Good old Dr. Peepee and Kurgerbang.
Kurger Bang, Dr. Pibb.
Snot.
Burger King foot.
Burger King.
I ever had a Burger King burger that fucking can give you the bubble guts? Me every time.
I don't remember. I had Burger King.
Last time I had burger, the leftover from.
Come on.
Yeah, from my trainer. He's, oh, you fucking Whopper?
Whopper.
I'll take Whopper.
I don't know what the likelihood of any of this is. I mean, I don't think the universe will eventually run out of energy, and it's mainly because energy can just be transformed. So we'll just take the wasted heat energy and turn it to some other form of energy.
You say we?
We, as in the universe,
Oh, okay.
not humans, but the universe.
You are. You are made in his image.
Technically,
Therefore, you are.
mean, we're made from stardust.
I mean, true.
Okay.
That
We're
is-
stars, bro. We got the fucking life of a star in us, son. Like,
Oh shit.
that's crazy.
Yeah, eventually, maybe that's what happened to people that that fall off of a building in Minecraft and run out of hearts.
So they go back to the sun.
No, they what is it? They turn into like a neutron star, or they are a neutron star, and then right when they do it, they blow up into like a quasar or something.
Quasar fucking large intestine hits the lady in Oh.
That crazy.
That's fucking wild.
What? Oh, yes, a thermodynamics question. Why do you think most reactions result in wasted energy, or energy that is not usable? Mainly heat energy is what's wasted. Energy they can't use.
Why do we think it is that heat is the most first?
No, why do you think most reactions, like whatever the reaction might be, result in very low efficiency? It's mainly waste.
Because I think the very action break the bonds of like atoms or whatever to get the energy. very inefficient, at least right now, the way we're doing it. That it results in all this excess or waste with very little output of.
Yeah, but
the
why can't we
power we need.
use? Why can't we use that waste? Like, why can't we store the waste
Like
and
heat,
use it some other way? Yeah.
like the heat.
Yep.
Don't we?
The answer is no, we don't. Whatever you're about to say, the answer is
I
no.
was gonna say, don't we have some type of device that like, kind of like isn't solar panel? Isn't that what those are?
In a way, but they use the sun.
It's not really the heat from the sun itself.
Yeah, but
it's
like,
the
what about
rays.
the calculators that have that same like fucking solar panel shit?
I mean, just put your nuts on it, see if it turns on.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't.
Yeah, no, because
like-
it's heat. It's not light.
Yeah,
is it heat or is it light? I don't know.
No, it's the UV rays.
It's the
from the
UV
sun.
rays. Your nuts don't produce
but
UV
but
rays.
when you're indoors in a classroom, that shit still turns on.
It's got
Well,
batteries.
No, no.
Plus-
You want a fucking battery?
So then how come when I put my thumb over it, it dies?
Then your batteries don't work. Then your batteries are dead, dude.
Nah, nigga.
Yeah, that's how that works, dude.
I'll tell you this. I don't know how much fucking power a calculator fucking takes.
I don't either.
But fucking Mariah had this fucking little fucking Chinese fucking cat that just waves with the power of like the sun. But the thing is you would put it under the fucking lights at our work and it would just go ting, 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 back and forth fast as fuck.
Mhm.
Eventually I started losing my mind because it was so quiet in there. All I would hear is this fucking cat ting, ting, ting. I'm trying to do a fucking prior authorization. I'm already losing my mind. I covered it with a sticky note and that motherfucker.
Yeah. Well,
He-
no. Yeah. My
he slowly
mom
died.
has plants in the house, and she uses like a lamp to.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, because it produces
UV.
UVB,
Yeah.
But
UV light.
you know, you gotta have UV.
It's
production,
the UV light.
not the heat.
Yeah, it's a type of radiation.
Isn't
the-
the radiation heat?
Not always.
Not
always.
Microwave, motherfucker.
Oh shit. Microwave oven.
There we go.
I fucking love air fryers.
I don't know how to use them, bro. Like,
What?
our
Just
microwave.
put it in
They're
there
the
for-
exact
at
same
thing.
$3.90
Bro,
for fucking
no,
20
no,
minutes.
no, no.
Check
Our-
every 5 minutes,
Bro, no, I try to heat up a fucking Cinnabon, bro. I was like, I'm putting it for 2 minutes. I 2 minutes, put it in there. So 2 minutes went off. That shit was the exact same temperature.
dude.
You
2
gotta
minutes?
Yeah.
That's not enough time.
Hey, bro, if I put that shit in the microwave for 2 minutes, that shit's burning.
That's
Well, it's a
because
different
the
type of
microwave's
heat.
using the moisture of the product
Yup.
to vibrate. But
Better
the,
product.
but the air fryer uses just hot air to circulate.
Yeah.
So how long does it take for the hot air to circulate?
Fucking like
To get
15
hot,
minutes.
bro.
Depends on the type of.
Bro, I could fucking on it, nigga, and it'll get hotter. Than
But you can't blow 400-degree hot air.
It depends on how like strong your
I
air
can't
fryer
I had
is.
use
that
air
shit
fryer.
I had that shit for $3.75 for 2 minutes. That shit's nope. It ain't
You should have done 400.
2 minutes.
2 minutes,
You
yeah.
can't do shit in 2 minutes.
I don't know.
You can bust a nut in 2 minutes.
I don't know.
You
I don't know
can't
how
cook a
air fryer
fucking
works.
Cinnabon.
Am I supposed to like let it preheat first, or do I just
Yes.
put it in there?
You gotta let it
So it's
preheat.
an oven.
Yeah,
like an
it
oven.
actually is.
It's an oven with a
It
fan.
works the exact same way as a normal oven,
It just has a fan
except it uses a fan
to move the molecule.
to move the air around instead of a heat element.
You guys are
And it's
all
also smaller.
So you guys are all idiots. So you guys are all getting scammed.
But it's
No,
small.
It is
It's small. That's the advantage of it.
You can.
It's one of those toasters, the old school like 90s toasters. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like not the actual toasters, but the one that has the oven. You fucking pop
Yeah,
it
yeah,
out. You
toaster
put it
oven,
in there.
toaster oven.
Yeah, toaster oven. Yeah.
You can get ovens that have the same function now.
Yeah.
They're a little bit more expensive, but the reason people buy air fryers is most likely because it's people in apartments who just have regular induction stove where they use the little heating element at the bottom that radiates from the top.
So everyone decided. Broke people.
Mostly.
Everyone. We're all
Most
broke.
most
I love.
I mean, a
air
lot of
fryers.
people with a lot of money have both. Like if you
Yeah.
want to cook just some chicken nuggets in a fucking air fryer.
I would
yeah.
rather cook an entire meal in the air fryer than the actual oven.
Oven creates so much fucking heat, dude. Especially if you're in a fucking apartment. Shitty fucking piece.
And it takes a long time too, because you gotta let it preheat for like 5-10 minutes.
Well, if you put a
whatever.
lot of stuff in the air fryer, it takes a lot of time. Like if you put a oh shit, how many
Actually, no,
pounds?
that is true. Yeah, 'cause
You put like a 3-pound bag of French fries in the or a 5-pound bag of French fries in my air fryer.
Yeah.
It takes like 20-something minutes.
I was Tostitos or whatever those fucking
The pizza rolls?
no, not my bad. It's not. like the like
Taquitos?
rolled tacos. Yeah,
Taquitos.
Taquitos, yeah.
Yeah, it took like 20 something minutes. Actually, probably less, like 16 minutes to cook like I don't know, like a handful of them. I forgot how much exactly it was.
In an air fryer?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
It might have been 8 to be honest. I can't remember how much it was.
Was there like a no space between them?
Yeah.
Yeah, the more space between it that you got, the easier.
Yeah, the more efficient it
more
is.
Efficient.
Yeah.
So once
Yeah,
you take away that air gap, then it kind of
yeah,
the
it's
air's
gotta
just kind of blowing
suck.
around the bottom, then it has to come around back.
Yeah, there's ours is set. There's a the fan is up top. The fucking suction part of it, or convection part, is at the very top, and it's gotta take the cold air from the bottom and bring it up to help heat it in there. Fancy stuff. I actually don't have anything else on this topic because it was so hard to find stuff, and it was so much of me explaining all kinds of things. I know, Hunter, you're the one that came to me with this topic. But I don't know if you have any questions or if I had already asked them or not. Or if there's anything else you want to know.
So Hunter, you know a lot about this topic.
No, I just seen it online one time, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool.
What's aerodynamics?
What's what?
I said
What's
aero-
aerodynamics?
I meant thermodynamics. My bad.
It's a
I don't
physics
know.
thing.
Don't ask me, dude. I just take blood pressure.
No, you gotta come at us with a medical.
Yeah. What
medical
is thermodynamics in the medical field?
Yeah. What do you use heat
thermodynamics
for?
What do we use heat for?
Yeah. Heating
You
pad.
could use it for blood flow. You could use it for mostly blood flow. Getting blood flow to like injury or.
What about chemotherapy?
I don't know nothing about chemo.
No. Oh,
Chemo's kind of crazy.
Is that heat? Like, what is that exactly? Don't they like put like IV in your body or whatever? Then like
it's a type of heat. Like the cells are hot and it kills everything, but it's not like direct heat. If that makes sense. It creates.
Like
you're
you're burning pretty much the cells inside
It's
your body.
creating
at
a type
thermal.
of reaction. That creates a thermal reaction to kill everything, but it kills all cells. It doesn't kill just cancer. It kills everything.
Still like
they're also giving you a lot of pain.
Yeah.
You're usually dope.
Yeah.
So yeah, most likely hurts. I don't know yet.
If I've done a prior authorization for like an insurance for them to cover a pain med, there's the number one question I get asked is this for cancer?
Nice.
I won't look this up before.
What's even crazy is like how inefficient like fires are, like campfires. Like most wasted energy is heat energy. And when you're even trying to get heat energy, aka like a campfire, is still inefficient. What?
Gotcha, you bitch.
What?
I don't know. I just typed in, could Calvin Zero freeze everything in the universe?
Yeah, absolute zero.
Yeah, I said, is it absolute or Calvin Zero?
Absolute zero.
Okay, fuck. I said Calvin Zero. 1 second.
0 Kelvin.
I would say absolute. All right, let's see if this works. That's what I want to look up before, but it says no, absolute zero Kelvin. It's very low because while it would stop most molecule motion, it's impossible to achieve.
Yeah, it's impossible to achieve absolute zero.
Let me read what I saw before. This one says, no, even hypothetical. I said Calvin Zero, which I don't know if that's the same thing.
I mean, technically, yeah. It's supposed to be 0 Kelvin, but it's okay. It's okay.
It said could achieve absolute zero. It wouldn't freeze everything in the universe as the temperature is a theoretical limit that cannot be. And even at that temperature, atoms would still exhibit quantum fluctuation, which I have no idea what that is. Quantum fluctuation. Even at absolute zero, atoms don't completely stop moving. They still exhibit quantum fluctuation, meaning they vibrate and have some residual energy.
But I believe at absolute zero, it stops everything, all vibration. It even stops quarks and shit like that.
I don't. I was sure I didn't know that. The fact alone will keep our universe temperature from dropping steps, no matter how long we wait.
Yeah, because we can't.
Yeah, it's
just impossible to hit absolute zero.
I just want to know, like, from a scientific, like, perspective, if something hit Kelvin Zero, if everything would freeze, or like thing said.
Have you ever put anything into liquid nitrogen?
Yeah.
Like how fast it freezes it?
Yeah.
It'd be similar to that because of how cold it is.
But how cold is liquid nitrogen?
Not that fucking cold.
No,
it's like,
and you can heat it up too. So it's like,
I mean, it technically heats up as it is.
What
Like,
do you mean? Like
the
as
moment
you pull it out?
Yeah. That's why it has so much steam coming off of it,
That's true.
or vapors technically, because it's instantly transforming.
Liquid.
How many Kelvin is that?
It's
77?
77C. No, it's definitely not 77C.
No, it's negative 196.
So that whatever that plus 273 is how many Kelvin it is.
Yeah.
It's fucking cold, that's for sure. Liquid oxygen is crazy too. That's absurdly cold.
Yeah, 77.15. Okay.
Kelvin, yeah. So 77 is how much liquid nitrogen is. And to get to 0 would be 77 times less colder than fucking liquid nitrogen. That's insane. What is liquid oxygen? I wonder how cold that is. Solid oxygen's insane too.
They said they reached the low temperatures using like helium isotopes.
Yeah,
Liquid
types of helium because of how cold you could get them.
Liquid oxygen, negative 1.
Okay. Yeah, they.
What's the coldest place on Earth?
The coldest place on Earth is somewhere in Antarctica, right?
Diddy's house.
What's the temperature?
Negative.
I know it can get cold enough to where
like negative 100 something Fahrenheit.
You can like get water and like throw it in the air.
Yeah, instantly freeze. Yeah.
Crazy.
Russian Vostok Station in Antarctica is the coldest place in America. Temperatures dip to negative 89.2 Celsius or negative 120 Fahrenheit in July of.
Damn, it's crazy. During the summer, that shit got the cold. That's all.
That's what happens when you're tilted from the sun, motherfucker.
Yep. Craziness. I don't know what else there is to talk about the heat death of the universe. Other than it might be possible. What it does, who the fuck knows? We don't know either. What do you guys think about it? You listeners, what do you think about the heat death of the universe?
Yeah, comment down below. Let us know.
We found out that you could comment on Spotify.
Oh, really?
Cool. Yeah.
We also realized you can comment on YouTube. Leave some crazy messages too.
Yeah, if you leave hate messages on YouTube, we're gonna like it because we think that's the funniest shit ever.
Hey, shout out to Matt.
I think it's Michael.
Michael.
I thought it was Matt.
Close enough.
Shout out to Matthew. That's his name now.
Oh shit!
Matt.
Some random guy listens gonna be like,
huh?
"What the fuck?"
He's like, me?
Hate me.
I never commented.
Holy shit! I never even.
Yeah, leave a comment. You know,
they're
what
in
I'm
my
saying?
walls.
We'll be open to hear what you guys say.
We won't
correct
reply.
us or drop some knowledge too. You know, drop some knowledge on us.
Yeah, if you guys actually know anything other than us, yeah, put it down because I can only research what I can research, and I usually take like 4 days to research stuff.
Jonas, I won't.
Yeah, I only reply if it's something I feel like replying to, but I'll like it.
You're supposed to incentivize them.
Sorry, guys. There's no acknowledgement. You just come.
We'll all reply. We're all reading.
Well, yeah,
we're all
we'll
thumbs
totally
it up.
reply. I'll reply for my business. That's linked.
I'll reply to my
LinkedIn.
burner account.
That way you can message my work stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit.
If you subscribe for our Patreon, we'll reply back.
We don't even have a Patreon. Yeah, we'll become super immoral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we don't even have a fucking Patreon. Yeah.
And our sponsors today, this video is Chuck E. Cheese's.
There's air fryers. That's our sponsor today. Specifically the Ninja ones.
Yeah.
I love my Ninja air fryer.
I love my Ninja air fryer. Like, this is the best product ever. Like, it just absolutely destroys.
Actually, it's my Ford air fryer.
My Ford.
I would really like if Ford would,
Ford
give me a better
GTD
air fryer. GTD, GT3 air fryer.
5 ways to get rich. scheme.
Pyramid scheme air fryer.
Just say buzzwords for the algorithm. CrossFit, Ozempic, semaglutide.
Use
TRT.
Existential podcast promo code for 30% off your product.
Yeah, off of TRT.
Off of TRT.
Andrew Huberman.
I can't even say the podcast name right. I can't fucking say it.
Existential.
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 Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Existential.
10 out of 10.
Get in there.
Existential.
You're gonna be like, this guy's a
Existential
fucking
podcast.
idiot.
But we're
There
going.
we
Like
Who
goddamn-
says that word, bro? Like, bro, I'm having an existential panic attack. No one says
Crisis.
that. No one says that, bro.
Shitting on the own name of the podcast.
No, I'm just saying.
Whoever would bring this up in a
I'm just,
conversation.
I'm just saying, bro. Like that word, like how often do you use it? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a tongue twister, but it's like
if I ever said that in my place of work, they'd look at me crazy.
existential.
Uh-huh.
There we go.
You always use
Yeah,
big words for
existential
no
crisis.
reason.
Existential.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
No, it's not a word that I hear often. So I'm like, I gotta like
It's a big word for
pronounce
people.
it.
It's a really big word for
Existential. There
people.
we go.
The first two letters of it are on your jacket.
You know what word I couldn't say, or what name I couldn't say? Cindy.
You know what I can't
Cindy?
Cindy. I
Yeah.
kept saying
Cindy.
Sydney.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You
I get that. I get that.
You ever tried to spell?
ever try to spell definitely?
Yeah.
Gone.
Spell it right now.
Yeah, people are gonna think we're fucking stupid.
Bro, I spelled defiantly, bro. This shit is
Oh my
trash.
god.
Oh my god.
You guys need to pick up a dictionary or
This
something,
is
dude.
You need
trash.
a fucking
Yeah, dude.
Why? I don't need to learn how to read. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, my phone does all the reading for me.
Yeah, exactly. Floyd Mayweather made millions, doesn't know how to read.
I just drive truck.
I just drive trucks
Oh
and
my
shoot tobacco.
fucking god.
Shoot
Wacky tobacco.
Don't wash my hands when I take a piss.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
not true. Truck drivers don't do that.
bro.
Well, not all of them.
Bro, I went to the car
Some of
show.
'em.
There were so many old dudes that went in there, grabbed their fucking dick, took a piss in the urinal, just walked straight out.
Yeah, bro. Those
Nasty
niggas is-
bastard.
Now go fuck.
Those dudes don't give a
You
fuck. They're just
old nasty geezers.
You know what I think it is? My theory is that with truck drivers, they're just so like disconnected from society because they're always just on the road and like not like when you're like, for instance, you're setting for your job, like you're in a building in an office with people and you're interacting with the public and your coworker.
And it's also required that I be very sanitary.
Yeah, and it's requires y'all, but like a librarian, I would assume is sanitary. They're not
Well,
pissing and just walking out
yeah.
and fucking not washing their hands
Touching
or
the
flushing
books and
toilet.
shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like for a truck driver, it's like you don't have any interaction with the public.
Yeah, the only thing is your filth. You're all on your own.
You're all on your
Your
own.
stuff.
You're pretty much isolated socially to yourself. And these dudes work nonstop.
Yep.
They work 12, 13, 14-hour days if they can. That's 13, 14-hour days by yourself with just your thoughts and
Hating
whatever
your
podcast
wife.
you listen to. Yeah, they don't want to be home with your kids or your wife or family or whatever. You just
Fuck
want to be
them
on the
kids.
road and fucking just be to yourself and keep your, I don't know, keep
Keep all
the
to
same
yourself, dude.
the same thought process you've had for the last 20, 30 years. That's my theory with truck drivers. Not all of them, but some. A lot of them. I think like
Yeah,
90%.
yeah, a lot of over the
Don't-
road guys.
Yeah, over the road guys. I don't know. Even some of the local dudes be doing that shit too. They be pissed. Not flushing the
True.
toilet.
Y'all ever think about your last? Like last?
Oh, like what I would have,
Like,
or
if you had, like, you know you're gonna die. What you're gonna eat?
oh, 100%. I think about that.
Yeah, brownies with mac and
Yeah.
cheese.
On the same plate, touching
The same
Oh
thing.
no, they cannot be touching. What the fuck?
the autism kid. Fucking tickled.
You can't have your
No.
food touched.
Hell nah. Hell nah.
So if I gave you two like mac and cheese with coleslaw, you want to eat it?
Oh fuck!
No,
The
yuck.
Oh, yeah, you
coleslaw
don't
would
like coleslaw.
fucking
Would you like mac
the
and cheese?
coleslaw juice
do
would
like
touch
mac-
the mac
You
and
like
cheese.
beans? Like baked beans? What do you like?
Mhm, yeah, I actually had baked beans earlier.
Okay, so if I have mac and cheese and baked beans on the same plate touching each other, you want to eat it?
No, I
You
want
wouldn't
to
eat
eat. I want to eat that section of it.
So you just cut it out?
Yeah, we'd eat around it.
Okay, so when you have a
Turn
spoon or
to
a
a
fork
pup.
that's touching multiple shit, you just won't eat the fork either?
No, what I do is I clean it with my tongue, dude.
there's
I make
Whoa,
sure
you
it's
just straight
fucking
up- You should have seen the
spotless, dude.
motion he just made. That's crazy.
I
That's what
He
you do?
slurped that.
make sure that shit is spotless before I touch another food.
So do you separate your food too? Like, so make sure they don't touch?
Actually, no, what I do is I put one in a bowl and another in a different bowl.
And you just
I
eat them
just-
separately?
Yeah.
You know how much wasteful that is? Why don't you just
You ever
eat
go
one
to
plate?
Jonas's house? He has no plates, just bowls.
You just have bowls?
I've got plates.
I was joking.
Why do you use them?
I was
I hate
joking.
plates. She's the one that uses plates.
The
I don't
plates
like it.
never leave.
I
The-
prefer to use. I almost said spoons, which I mean is true, but I prefer to use bowls and spoons.
Jonas,
I could eat everything in a bowl and a spoon
Do you
with a
hate-
spoon.
Do you hate, first of all, do you like chocolate?
Yeah.
Do you like, peanuts?
Yeah, I like
do you
peanut
like
butter.
peanut M&Ms?
Peanut M&Ms? Yeah, I actually get them every once in a while.
So if I get a plate of peanut butter and a plate of nuts and chocolate, would you mix that shit or no?
It depends.
Would you eat it separately?
I think it depends.
It depends.
Yeah, it depends on.
If I had brownies and peanut butter right next to the brownies, would you, and they're touching, would you separate them?
Probably, yeah. And unless it was like I visually am like I'm gonna put peanut butter on this brownie, then I would do it. I would be fine with it. But if I was like I'm gonna eat them separately, yeah,
Jonas
I
is
would separate
bulking.
them.
Brownies with peanut butter. Dude. That's crazy.
He's bulking.
Even my fat ass doesn't.
Even that keto brownie we ate.
Oh,
Fucking
it was
amazing,
protein.
bro.
It was a
That shit
protein
was
brownie.
nasty.
So bad.
It's fucking just a yoked ass steroid nigga on YouTube. So this is what I do. I just get this pumpkin. Lots of pumpkin, as much as you want. 0 sugar fucking chocolate syrup. He made that look so good.
It's not.
And he's like, even with this ice cream, it's just all comes together at one. Bro, we had that shit, bro. That shit tastes like sandpaper, bro. That shit look like it's out a mouthful of fucking
Man's eating 200
sand, bro.
grits. Oh my god.
Oh my
200
God.
right there.
That shit was rough. And
Yeah.
that was not what it tasted like. I think probably the best thing about it was probably the syrup. The syrup wasn't even that good.
Mhm.
We didn't get enough energy from that.
Yeah, it was the pumpkin, bro. I think we didn't put enough pumpkin in there.
That was definitely the problem. Jesus.
Shit.
Didn't we make like a big ass batch too, or something like that? Or
I think we
was-
did. I think we did.
And we just
Yeah.
fucking-
We made
That's
a
a
pretty good
whoopsie.
size.
yeah, man. You know?
Somebody ate all of them. I think Jeff ate all of them.
He's like, damn, this is good. Brings me back to my day.
Fuck sandpaper hands on the sandpaper brownies, dude.
Yeah, he said back when I was bulking, back when I was a bodybuilder.
He said, this shit, I used to eat this shit all the time.
No shit.
Brings me back.
It's gourmet.
All right, guys. Well, that was a ginormous rant. Literally has nothing to do with what we talked about, but
The first 30 minutes did.
I really didn't have a lot to say on this. So obviously they didn't, because I'm the one that plans all this stuff in terms of like questions and stuff. I don't know what else to say. Do we have any advice for today? Use air fryers. That's what we're gonna
Use
get an
air
air fryer.
fryer.
They're like the coolest thing ever.
Don't sell out.
Yeah,
That's a good one. You be moral.
yeah. Yeah, don't expend all your energy in dumb areas.
You got any topics you want us to talk about? Let us know.
Yeah, leave a comment or get in contact with us if you have a topic you want us to talk about.
Nothing racist.
Nothing racist.
Unless you're paying.
Unless
unless
you're
you're
paying.
our
That's-
Patreon.
I like how
go
I
to
like-
Patreon for that.
I like how we said don't sell out immediately after. I said,
Hey, man.
don't
There's
say
no
anything
Patreon.
racist.
Hey,
Hey,
unless you're
everyone
paying.
else does it. Why can't we? You know, everyone else tells you not to sell out. Or
Oh
do some
my
shit.
god,
Bro, I'm telling you, like these companies are just greedy. Like they just whore out their audience, and then they'll do an ad. You
want-
know, like 2 seconds later.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid shout out,
If you-
prize picks, DraftKings.
Dude.
I got $2 on fucking Bronny Jr. Like, bro,
Oh
Bronny
my
Jr.
God.
to score 3 points.
LeBron, don't be my ass, please. Don't pull up to me at a fucking basketball game.
LeBron came up all in my
All right, guys. Well, I guess we'll see you next week on some other topic. Maybe you guys will think of something. Anyways, bye bye.
Doses.
Lakers in 5.